Today I'm going to show you how to make some bunting out of old jeans. I am making these for the Queen's Jubilee here in the UK, so I'm going to be adding some ribbon. Obviously you don't need to do this, you can just follow the DIY tutorial to see how to make bunting out of old clothes. Here you can see me marking the position of where the ribbon is going to go. There is a template on the blog, link in the description below for the free template. So here I am cutting out some old jeans. I've used 3 different pairs of jeans to get different variations of blue fabric as my base. As you can see, I'm just going for neat, straight, diagonal lines. I'm not using crimping scissors. I don't expect the bunting to be used that often, so I'm not too worried about fraying. So transfer the markings to your fabric using tailor's chalk or similar so that you know where to place your ribbon on your flag. I'm using Bondweb. It's an iron dissolvable glue. I can't remember what it's called in America. So I'm placing it on the denim, then adding the ribbon, placing a piece of parchment paper over the top to protect the iron, and then ironing to dissolve the glue and adhere the ribbon to the denim. So that's my first diagonal piece. Now I'm going to add a piece of red lace over the top and iron that in place. Using this method we'll gradually build up all the ribbons on the piece of flag, on the piece of fabric to create the flag. I'm trimming as I go, but you can equally just trim your ribbon once you've got it all on in place. So another piece of Bondweb, another piece of ribbon, again protecting the iron and ironing to adhere. You could have of course used different forms of glue. You could use a fabric glue or glue gun, or you could stitch your ribbon in place if you prefer. The choice is yours. So that's my diagonals in place. So, and I've next got to do my horizontal and vertical ribbon. I've chosen a wider base for this, wider pale white creamy ribbon. I am going to cut my glue very carefully around that point because I don't want to get it onto my pressing mat. And I want to keep that sharp triangular point at the bottom of the flag. So now I've done my diagonals, I am going to do both pieces of white vertical and horizontal before adding the red, because of the way the British flag is. Doesn't really matter whether you put the horizontal or the vertical red ribbon on first. Either order is fine. I've got a loose bit there, I will re-iron that just to catch it down. First, I'm going to add the red. I love the look of the lace. It feels quite antique-y and suitable for the Jubilee, but of course you could use ribbon as opposed to lace. You could use what you've got around the house. It doesn't have to be lace or ribbon, it could be the right side of bias binding. It's totally up to you. Now I'm going to trim that point and keep that triangular point at the bottom of the flag. So there you have it, your denim flag. Just going to iron that to adhere it properly. You could of course use crimping scissors at this point if you like. Now you've added your ribbon and crimp the edges of the flag. As I say, I'm not going to use this bunting that often, so I'm not too worried about it. This is a quick no-sew bunting project. So make a variety of flags. To string your flags into bunting, I'm going to use bias binding. I've pressed it in half so that raw edges are inside, and I'm placing my Bondweb both sides of the denim in between the denim flag and the bias binding, and then I'm just going to iron that so the glue melts and holds, thus encasing the raw edges of the flag. As I say, this is an ASO method. Alternatively, you could just run your bias binding down through the sewing machine as an alternative method. So once your flag's in place, you do need to hold your folded pressed edges of your bias binding as well. So I'm placing another strip of Bondweb in there, and I'm going to iron that to close. And here we go. So bias binding, Bondweb, denim flag, Bondweb, bias binding. I'm just going to make sure that's all neatly tucked. And gives that a press. Obviously I should be using my parchment paper to press to preserve my iron, but I haven't done here. And then I'll just make sure it's dissolved on the second side and give it a good press. And continue until you've got your desired length of bunting. I've used 12 flags to make 4 metres worth, and as you can see I've used different jeans and different styles of ribbon and lace. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and press like.